Small Chamber is the hardest map we've had so far in Summoner Duels, and it's because it's so different from the others. Let's dissect it a little bit and look at things that worked and things that didn't. Hello Summoners, and welcome to another episode of FEHology, the study of Fire Emblem Heroes. My name is Joel, and we're going to talk about how Summoner Duels went this week. It was interesting. I was definitely not as successful as I wanted to be. I came up with some interesting team configurations though, and I ran up against some interesting things that I wanted to show you guys. So first up, that's right, I lost my first two matches. It was not a happy day, but let's look at one that I did win just to show you how this team is meant to work and things that you can replicate in it. Things that went well. This Loki is amazing, and I love her. She's not going to be good on every map. She's only going to be good on maps when you can be directly across from people, and might be only good on this map because it is so predictable that they're going to have either a turmoil unit or a unit that has extra movement, so that we get that stall ploy effect. She has some other things going on which are nice. Obviously the guard effect is nice, and yeah, other stuff. But the biggest thing is stall ploy. The rest of this, I'm using Crom to give extra stuff to Dagger so that we get both Growing Wind on him and Glimmer ready, which should have been Deadeye. We'll get to that in a second. And then Katria, of course, is adding just a little bit of extra oomph, as well as the Orders effect, which is huge on this map. Let's see how this looks when it's done correctly. All right, so you can see this plus 10 leaf here. Did I go over the merges? I don't think I did. This is a plus 10 leaf. Yeah. Raphael for extra cooldown on Yuri. We've got Alm coming in and a plus 10 Fjorm. Like, this is a team right here. All right, so how's this gonna go? We're getting set up, and the greatest thing here is the fact that what happened right there. You can see they brought Leaf from the other side of the map, and what they're trying to do is take out at least one unit with Leaf. And I had everyone covered except for Loki, and I was willing to trade whatever they wanted to trade. Like, that's their best unit. If they wanted to do that, I was just fine. I don't think they thought that I was going to be able to get set up that quickly, but I was used to this strategy. This is very, very common, and this is why Reeve and Loki were so good in this mode. They were able to basically take a unit out of the mix, and in this particular case, they were able to take 2 units out, which is huge. So continuing on, they try to back out of that, but at that point, they're out of position, and I have this nice little clump here. And Summoner's positioning is everything. Movement is just absolutely the best thing you can do. It goes above any other sort of nuke you could have. And we're gonna watch teams that have so fewer merges than mine and did so much better. And a lot of that is because my positioning wasn't great. It took me a bit to get this one going, and I wasn't incredibly happy. But you can see my choice there was to isolate, or to stall ploy, Alm, because he was the bigger threat. I believed that I still had an extra life with Ithun being there, and I was right. Having Katria take out Leaf was amazing. From here, this is one of those moments where as long as I play this right, I'm good to go. And you can see I'm basically banking on Ithun giving me that one extra spot where once Yuri attacks me, I can still attack him back. And I'm going to point out something here with Alm, and this is interesting because I want to talk about how bulky this unit is. So I get all of this set up, I take out the last Yuri, and my plan here on turn 4 is to be able to then take out that Alm. I've got him stall ployed, so he can't move. I try to set this up then with 2 units, and even with both of them combined, I could not take out that Brave Alm. He is a bulky, bulky boy. So you can see they really walked right into the stall ploy thing there, and they thought they were going to be able to get a free kill with their leaf, and that didn't quite work out. But let's move on to some other things, and I wanted to look at this because this is probably my favorite strategy from this whole week. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. This is a different way to use Valentian Palla. I had actually seen this before, and I still got overextended. It drove me nuts. Again, I mean, we've said it, Reeve is great in this mode. I will say it is nice being able to put, being able to have Crom. The thing here is, once he uses Change Fate, he gets rid of Stall Ploy because it's a refresh skill, right? I mean, he isolates himself, but we all know that's coming. So my Loki doesn't have much to do. We get this very slick switch here, and we're due one more very slick switch with Yuri. I love this opening because it takes so few turns to set up. Basically, this person is set up in 3 moves. In 3 moves, everything is set up and ready to go, and they're ready to attack. That is incredible. And that's what caught me so off guard with Palla here and how she was able to take out Dogger. The first time I had played this person was early in the week, and they hadn't honed this quite as well, and it still beat me, but not this handily. From here, I mean, it's desperation time, and I guess we can go ahead and get through this, but yeah, it's not pretty, and it is amazing how well this unit worked. Obviously, having Vector there to sit back and absorb damage is great, and having Yuri there to do any cleanup kills is fantastic. One of the things I'll mention is this can also be done with Sita. I know one of the top players used Sita this way. I can't tell which one is better. The Vantage thing with Sita is nice, but I still think you'd want to do hit and run just because that effectively gives you Canto 3, which is powerful. You can see it lets you hit a unit and then duck back into the safety of Brave Hector. So, yeah, that didn't go well. Let's talk a little bit about... We'll go over this one. You can see this is a huge discrepancy in tier, obviously. But I still wanted to talk about the strategy of using a raid boss. And originally I thought raid boss strategies were going to be so dominant in this. The fact is not as many people have Legendary Ellawood right now. That may change come, I think he comes back in May. So we may be seeing more raid boss configurations. If you want to see a raid boss configuration done to perfection, I will put a link down on the bottom to Eeuw. He's got a YouTube channel, and he just owned the world with his Fallen Edelgard with that Fallen Shield. And then the thing that this is missing is Legendary Ellawood for bonus doubler. You saw Jackal in our live, he used Astrid, and that worked fairly well too, although not as good as Legendary Ellawood, because Legendary Ellawood can do it from a distance. Now, I think they panicked just a little bit with this duo skill. Memory serves, that is null follow-up, which is good, and the reason you want that is you can send Sigurd in and he can take out some of the units that have things like Ithun, where they don't let you attack twice. I think that was just a mess up there, and they didn't think about the fact that Sigurd was stall-ployed. I just want to show the fact that this is the reason why Bridal Catria is here. It's nice for the orders effect, but for raid boss configurations, I needed something that could do a lot of damage. I was banking on the fact here that Edelgard could not take out Dogger, and I was right, which was nice. From here, I could have taken out... Actually, I don't think Dogger would have done that. I think I needed the bulk that Crom had. But look at that. Like that is a lot of punishment she took and gave back. And it took Crom to take her out. So you can extrapolate how that would go if they had something like the bonus doubler with Legendary Elwood. From there, I heal up Crom, and they immediately realize that they have free reign with their Sigurd, which I could not have. So I go ahead and take Dogger in. I've got the wonderful Katria doing work, and she just continues to do work for me. I've been fairly happy with her. And I mean, essentially, I have 2 units that do movement support here. The thing is, both of them have the ability to attack, which makes them so much stronger. So that's the second configuration we had. I want to look at... Let's look at this. And the reason I want to point this out, this is 2 melee units done much better than than I had seen before. I really screwed this one up and didn't put proper pressure. But one of the things about Sigurd is his ability to be able to move so many spaces and just do massive amounts of damage while doing it. I had to stay out of the way of Sigurd while worrying about what would happen when he got danced, because I figured that was only a matter of time. And I got wrapped around the axle a bit and stayed too far back. Once that happens, especially with units with so much range, and I mean Kanto on Brave Erica, there's just not much to do here. Anyway, should have pressed my advantage, did not. And you can see that right here very clearly as... Oh, it's this next turn, actually. My first move for this next turn, for whatever reason, was to double-click Cthulhu, which is the stupidest move I did in this entire thing. So that happens, but keep in mind that's not to take away from how well this player played. Getting everything up and running and having 2 melee units that could threaten my essentially all-ranged team here. That is not great. Probably could have led in with Cthulhu and used her as my meat shield, but you know, hindsight. That was my last match and I was less than happy. I wanted to talk about one more strategy that I saw a lot of, and I'm going to show you the good version. There were a lot of bad versions, and we'll just go ahead and let this person show off their victory. Yeah, win! Let's go back to regular Summoner Duels, and I have a replay that I really enjoyed. And this was from a player named Shady. And I saw a lot of this initially, and then not so much after, but I think that... Here, let's watch this. This is good. This is not the one I thought this had Hinoka on it, and it doesn't, but this is... He played this masterfully. So you can see the merges here. And what they're going to do to pull this off is they're going to run a dual threat around each of the corners. So now we're threatening someone with Yuri, so I can pull this unit in. And then we're threatening with Reeve. And this is a misplay on my part. I thought that I could pull in Loki and then Kanto across. And that does not work because it's remaining movement. And since she can only move one space, there is no remaining movement, or remaining movement +1. So everyone's still protected here, but you can see I am clearly at a disadvantage as they have so much threatened area. I mean, it's really nice. This is one of the reasons... Yeah, I had to reconfigure things the way they were done after this. That is some Yuri action there. I saw some interesting Yuris. And this was all I could do at that point. You notice because Growing Wind, or not Growing Wind, at that point I had Blazing Wind, which only does the the star-shaped pattern, whereas Growing Wind does the, what is that, 6 squares, 9 squares. And that's one of the reasons I changed that, so that we could be able to get more Fjorm damage there. But yeah, after that, I have lost my best unit. I'm backed into a corner and there's not much to do. But that is another thing you can do here. And again, we talk about how good Reeve is in this mode, and you can get pressure along the sides. I haven't seen a whole lot of people use that well. It can be derailed easier than you think. But summoners, I hope this helps get a view of what some of the players actually were doing. It was an interesting week for me, just discovering how everything went. I would love a chance to be able to do this map again. I would love a chance to be able to experiment with Legendary Sita, and I mean, I would love a Valentian Palla, but you know, we can't have all the units, can we? I would love to hear what you guys did, what strategies worked for you. Tell me down in the comments. Thank you so much for coming by, and take care. Schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.